British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has ordered England to lock down in an attempt to slow the surge in new COVID-19 cases. Here he is in a televised address on Monday evening.
With most of the country already under extreme measures, it's clear that we need to do more together to bring this new variant under control while our vaccines are rolled out.
The Prime Minister stressed the rise in cases and a new, more contagious variant threatens to overwhelm parts of the health system. He said that if the timetable of the vaccination program went as planned and the number of cases and deaths responded to the lockdown measures, the country could start moving out of lockdown in the middle of February. The U.S. state of Georgia's top election official says President Donald Trump and his claims of fraud in the state's election are just plain wrong. Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger made the comment Monday to media network ABC News. He's the one that was on the weekend call with President Trump, where the commander-in-chief asked him to upend his pivotal 11,000 vote loss in the state. Raffensperger says it is obvious President Trump continues to believe baseless theories about election fraud that he claims handed the state's electoral votes to President-elect Joe Biden. The president continued his attack Monday on the election outcome on Twitter. President-elect Biden and outgoing President Trump are holding rallies Monday in the U.S. state of Georgia. That's where two runoff elections Tuesday will determine whether Republicans or Democrats control power in the U.S. Senate. Biden has already spoken at a drive-in rally, and President Trump getting ready to campaign later Monday evening. President Faustin Archange Touadera has won Central African Republic's presidential election. According to provisional results announced by the Electoral Commission Monday, Touadera won by securing more than 53% of the votes in the first round that was held December 27th. The election was marred by a coordinated offensive by rebel groups who tried to disrupt the vote after former President Francois Bozize's candidacy was rejected by the country's highest court. Attacks and the destruction of voting materials, including on Election Day, prevented voting in several towns. Qatar's ruling emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, will attend a Gulf summit in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday. That's according to the royal court. His participation confirmation comes after a Kuwaiti minister announced that Saudi Arabia would reopen airspace and land and sea border to Qatar. The minister citing a deal toward ending a dispute in which Riyadh and its allies imposed a boycott on Qatar since mid-2017. Scottish leader Nicola Sturgeon says as of Tuesday, people in Scotland are legally required to stay at home except for essential reasons to curb a renewed surge of coronavirus infections. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
Sturgeon has told lawmakers Scotland will be placed in lockdown for at least the whole of January to help ease the pressure on hospitals under the new lockdown rules, which are broadly similar to those of the spring. People can go out for exercise but can only meet one other person from another household. As well, school closures are extended until February, except for children of key workers and children under social care. Scotland, which has its own devolved government, has often imposed stricter coronavirus restrictions than those in England. Lockdown for at least the whole of January to help.
That was AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma reporting. Brazil made a diplomatic push Monday to guarantee an Indian-made shipment of COVID-19 vaccines by British drug maker AstraZeneca, Latin America's largest nation, hoping to avoid export restrictions that could delay immunizations. In a parallel, Brazil's private clinics struck a preliminary deal for an alternative injection made by India's Bharat Biotech, despite a lack of public results from late-stage trials. The scramble by Brazil's government and private sector underscored the country, once an example of mass immunization success in the developing world, has fallen behind peers in the race to inoculate against the coronavirus.